Hey Miku, you know how we're broke and we need help making content? And you know how AI and VTubers are all the talk of the town right now? Well, do I have some news for you. I've made myself into an AI VTuber. Check it out. Hey Miku, the name's Suarez Digitals. Pleasure to meet you. Suarez Digitals. They have an S at the end of their name. Pleasure to meet you all. Anyhow, what is my first task? So your first task I would say is just make a video for us. Can do, boss. What subject do you want it on? I got it. What about that new Fire Emblem game? Everyone's talking about it. I'm on it. You'll be in good hands with me. I promise I'll make the most accurate and honest review you've ever seen. Ah yes, Fire Emblem Engage, the newest addition to this franchise's greatest legacy. You might be asking, Suarez Digital, why is it called Fire Emblem Engage? Well, it's because you're literally engaged to Marth. I'm not joking. Here's a spoiler from the final scene of the game. Anyhow, this has been a big step up from the previous games, and it shows. Following in the footsteps of open world games like Breath of the Wild and Pokemon Arceus, Engage is the first ever open world Fire Emblem game. It has all your cool staples like day and night cycles, train and level up by actually working out. Huh, that's pretty neat. Explore towns and interact with the local folk. Pick fruits and items, and adopt animals. Wait, what? Yep, you heard that correctly. You can adopt animals and raise them. Perfect for gamers because they can barely take care of themselves, let alone a real animal. So taking care of a virtual one they can hyper-focus on and forget about years later is perfect. You think I'm lying? Well, let me ask you this. How are your Nintendogs doing? What about those Neopets? Tell me, what's your Tamagotchi doing nowadays? That's right, I thought so. Raise your animals correctly and train them to fight alongside you, I think. I actually haven't gotten that far. So, where are your animals stored? In your modest home base. Did I say modest? I meant your extravagant and luxurious palace. Yeah, it's actually really big. This time around, Fire Emblem Engage follows a unique storyline where you, the protagonist, is a god referred to the locals as the Divine Dragon, which, surprise, also means you can transform into a dragon. This is a unique concept that has totally never been done in all of Fire Emblem's history ever. For the most part, you're gonna spend most of your time hanging out with the local royals of this world. How many royals do we have this time? Quite a bit actually. From what I understand, there are 4 different nations in this continent? The continent of Elios. Yes, there are 4 different nations in the continent of Elios. First up, Firene, the good guys. You can tell because their kingdom has a lot of greenery, and they have the best locations among all of the other kingdoms. They obviously have no issues farming or gathering resources. Their notable fact is that they value peace among all else, which is shown when we are told they made a treaty with their neighboring kingdoms, Salm, the only other good country, and the war-thirsty Brodia. Brodia, from what we see, is a country that places value on being strong, and they hate anything that is weak. Even the children are brainwashed by this ideology.
This is the kingdom of warriors. If you can't dodge one arrow, you're not worthy to enter. Here, the weak serve the strong.
Lapis, I spent hours grinding my characters before coming here. I guarantee you, if you join my party, you will be the weakest unit. So sit down and humble yourself. So, because Brodia can't invade Salm or Firene, they redirect all their conquests to Elusia. And as we're told by Prince Alfred, Brodia is always invading Elusia to expand their territory. So why isn't Elusia part of this non-aggression pact? Is it because they're evil? Is it because they rejected it? Well, the answer is a lot more simple. Tell them, Alfred.
Honestly, they're so far away, we don't interact with them too much.
It's because they're too far away from them. Look, I'm not royalty, but even I would feel uneasy, especially if I saw the 3 neighboring countries making an alliance that excluded me, and especially more when one of those countries is run by a warmongering violent psychopath. Imagine, they chose making an alliance with that guy over you. Why? This would cause me to look helpful elsewhere. Maybe, I don't know, a satanic evil dragon that can cause the end of the world?
Some Elusians worship the Fell Dragon.
The Fell Dragon?
And there you have it. In all fairness, I too would worship Satan if God ignored my prayers.
Sorry, I didn't bring it up to turn you against Elusia.
He totally brought it up to turn us against Elusia. So what do you need to know? Firene and allies, even though one of them is trying to invade Elusia, they are the good guys. Elusia, the country that's constantly being invaded and had no other choice to make a pact with the evil Fell Dragon, they're bad. We hate them. Now you might be saying, Suarez Digital, that is ridiculous. You need to play the game more and get to know the characters. Alright, fair enough. I have been jumping around from this game, so let's get back to the beginning. So who are all these wonderful characters you play as? First and foremost, let me introduce you, the VTuber looking Pepsi colored protagonist. Literally VTube looking because the character designer makes VTubers for a living. You can choose to be male or female and name them whatever you want. I chose female and kept her default name to Alir. Alir. Now, this Colgate colored scheme protagonist is the divine dragon that fell asleep for thousands and thousands of years. And now, they have finally awoken for ominous reasons. Everyone here loves and worships you. Literally, this entire continent has a culture and religion that revolves around you. You know what? Take the U-R-E out of culture and ha! Cult. There's a cult built entirely around you. Immediately, you're greeted by your retainers. They all actually don't matter. Okay, actually they do. Remember that cult I told you all about? Well, they're actually all part of it. This man here spent his entire life watching over your sleeping body ever since he was a young boy. And these two children are being raised to take over his position, and they're totally into it. They are the co-presidents of your fan club, comprised entirely of, well, just the two of them. Oh, by the way, your mother's also a dragon. She runs the tutorial stages that teach you how to play. Here, she teaches you the new gimmick, fighting with your wedding rings. And again, that's why it's called Fire Emblem Engage. But in all seriousness, you have rings that summon heroes from other games. It's kind of like Captain Planet. All your favorites are here. Ike, Marth, Ike, Celica, Ike, Micaiah, Ike, and so forth. Along the way, you meet so many more colorful characters. I'll introduce them as we go, so don't worry. Moving on. In order to avoid major spoilers, I'm going to give you all a quick recap of the first couple chapters. You wake up from your 1,000-year slumber. You explore the world, and corrupt beings called the Corrupted attack you. Your mom comes in and wrecks everyone. Turns out that you have amnesia. Your mom comes in and explains as much as you can about the lore. They talk to you about the rings. Your mom teaches you how to play the game. After some intense training, you and your units rest for the night. In a stunning turn of events, your castle comes under heavy attack. And I do want to point out, while you are this important deity that everyone seems to obsess over, who also resides in this ginormous castle, your entire and only line of defense is comprised of one knight and two children. Alright, buddy. Good luck with that. And just when it seems that everything is lost, the neighboring kingdom of Firene sends in their finest, the one and only Prince Alfred, and his army of 2 people. Anyways, you have plot armor. Otherwise, our unit of 7 people would never be a match for this entire army. Your army of 7 beats out the soldiers, only to have the invading force kill your mother in the process. It turns out that the fell dragon has been resurrected, and they need the 12 rings of power to come back to, well, power. And because of your mother's death, your Domino's colored hair protagonist goes on a mad rampage of revenge. And along the way, you discover evils that are far more insidious. Oh, and you finally get access to your base with its incredible real estate. This place is amazing and luxurious. You, the protagonist, gets your own private sleeping quarters. And where does everyone else sleep? Outside or on the ground? Not my problem. Except Yunaka. You can stay with me. There are weapon stores, a cafeteria, training quarters, a swimming pool, gardens, and stalls for your animals. What doesn't this place have? Huh? What is this? Oh, look at this cute dog. I'm gonna pet it. Oh.
Too much.
Wait, we touch it, we die? Yes. They absolutely put in this weird game mechanic where if this dog touches you, it's an instant game over. There is literally no explanation whatsoever. And it's really annoying because you'll be chilling and talking to someone and then bam, there he comes and it's game over. And he's programmed to follow you everywhere. You can't hide. He will find you and he will touch you. Join us next week as we continue our totally real Fire Emblem review, where we will dive in and further discuss all of the dirty politics. See you soon!
Subscribe!